He's a man of great faith. He's extremely funny, and if I had to guess, I'd say a lot of girls find him to be pretty handsome. But the thing I love most about Chris is his competitiveness. And growing up with Chris, we would compete in everything. Our competitions ranged from wrestling to basketball to just sitting on a sofa and seeing who could shoot the Nerf balls or whatever ball into a hamper 10 feet away. The key to the competition was the loser always had to submit to some agreed upon humiliation or suffer some sort of torment. These forms of humiliation ranged in severity. A few that come to mind are a tablespoon of Tabasco sauce, having to eat that. Having to eat all the cheese off of a large cheese pizza. There was, of course, the dreaded give Nancy or Sister Jenna a kiss on the cheek for a 10-second count. And there was eating an entire apple pie after Thanksgiving dinner and dessert. Yes, we somehow managed to turn one of the most sacred objects on earth, a Thanksgiving apple pie, into an absolutely brutal instrument of pain. Now, I know that Chris has matured in many ways since then and has become a professional, but the truth of the matter is, whenever we get together, we revert back to these days of defiling pizzas. I want to go back to last year at this time. Chris's brother-in-law Adam, and myself were throwing the ball around. It was the day before my wedding at my uncle's farm. We came up with a bet. We agreed that the loser would have to feed one of the cows an apple. But he would have to do so by putting the apple in his mouth and letting the cow eat it from him. Now, the truth of the matter is, I dropped the first pass. But we agreed that 2 out of the 3 people had to agree that the catch was catchable. And thankfully, Adam sided with me and said it was uncatchable. So we kept playing, and Chris finally dropped the pass. And what ensued, I still need to put on YouTube to this day, but I have it on my iPhone. If you want to see the video, I'll be on the dance floor and you can see it. So even though you might occasionally question Chris's judgment or grasp of basic hygiene, you could never question his integrity. Now, some of these bets actually helped Chris in his development. The first time I ever saw Chris interact with a girl was the result of a bet. Ronnie took Chris and I to Harley-Davidson store, and I don't remember what bet Chris lost, but basically I was to choose a girl that he had to go up to and deliver the line, "Hey, I lost my phone number, can I borrow yours?" Now, I picked this girl dressed mostly in skin-hugging leather, a few years older than Chris, and he worked up the gumption to do it, and he went up to her, and all I remember is a tense pause, followed by Chris saying, "Okay." Before he slunk away and walked back to me. And when he got to me, his eyes were wide open and his lips were quivering in a way I didn't know was possible. And he said, "I did it." And I said, "I know, buddy." Fortunately for Chris and fortunately for Leslie, Chris has made a lot of progress since that afternoon at the Harley-Davidson. He's grown up into a truly impressive man, and I'm really proud of him. I'm proud of who he is, how hard he's worked, and all that he's accomplished. And I couldn't be happier for Chris that he's found someone just as impressive and wonderful in Leslie. When Chris initially met Leslie, he was so happy and so proud. He would email me a picture of her and brag, rightfully so, about how beautiful she was. When we talked on the phone, he would talk all about her, But it wasn't until 1 week in Shattuck, Oklahoma that we got to spend together with Leslie, the Waltons, where I got to see how perfect they were. Leslie was kind, fun, patient. She was always up for everything. But there was one moment in Shattuck that crystallized for me that she and Chris were a perfect fit. They were wrestling in the living room, and somehow Leslie pulled this scissor kick move. Chris went flying across the room. And I thought to myself, they have a real foundation here.
That is awesome.
It makes me happy to know, having watched them interact, that Chris and Leslie have so much to look forward to in life. And it brings me such joy to know that Chris will use all of his amazing qualities, his kindness, his caring, his diligence, his integrity, his wit, and his faith, to bring Leslie all the happiness she deserves. So please, everyone, if you want to raise your glass and toast to Chris and Leslie and all the joy and happiness in their future.
All that anxiousness for perfection.